Natalie, it's baseball season. Did you see all those ribbies USC racked up last night?
Oh, you mean the runs batted in?
Right. That's what a ribby is.
I know, you learn something new every day. Sports Scene starts now.
Trojans baseball had a huge come-from-behind victory against Cal State Fullerton last night. Hello and welcome to Sports Scene. I'm Anwar Stetson.
And I'm Natalie Reddington. That's right, Anwar. After a loss to the Titans last month on the road, the Trojans redeemed themselves at Dedeaux, winning 6-5 in a thriller. And they were down 5-1 at the bottom of the 8th inning until sparking a big rally.
Yeah, take a look at sophomore outfielder Jamal O'Gwen's huge 3-run double. Boom, 1 run is going to score. 2 runs are going to score, and 3 runs are going to score. Look at this beautiful slide down here. O'Gwen's double capped off a 5-run inning that secured the Trojan victory.
We got to speak with O'Gwen after the game. Let's hear what he had to say.
Well, honestly, it's just a matter of, in my mind, getting the next guy up to the plate. More guys who get up, more runs we score. So, it's not always about being the hero. It's just about getting the win. So that's just getting the next guy up to the plate was really the only thing going through my mind. Well, everybody's we got a good team. Everybody supports up there, even if they're not, whether they're playing or not. I mean, guys are always loud. Into the game, whether we're up, down. So it's honestly from the guys on the bench and their energy. It's what keeps us going.
USC baseball heads to Salt Lake City tomorrow to take on the Utah Utes, who occupy the 11th spot, 1 below the Trojans in the Pac-12 rankings. The two teams will face off 3 times over the course of the weekend.
On another note, though, spring football is back in action. We had the chance earlier this week to sit down with wide receiver Michael Pittman Jr. and discuss his goals for the 2019 season.
At the end of last season, you decided you're going to come back to USC. You're not going to go to the draft. You had some unfinished business here. What are your goals, personal goals for 2019?
So, personal goals, first, I guess that I want to win a Pac-12 again, and then that leads to Rose Bowl, and then that leads to playoffs, and that leads to the national championship. And then I also thought that I could raise my draft stock higher than what I was getting, higher than what they thought that I would go.
Last year, the offense had a little bit of inconsistency, trouble getting things going. Has that been ironed out? What's the general feel between the receivers and quarterbacks now?
I'd say that it has got ironed out. I say that Coach Graham's new offense kind of has straightened out all of our kinks and stuff, and I'd say that everybody's flowing well in his new offense. So.
And going off of that air raid offense, how's that transition been for you? A little bit different style offense now, more receiving heavy. How's that been for you? Well,
it's been hard on us because we're low on guys, but we're getting 70 passes a practice, so it's all good fun, and we're scoring a lot of touchdowns and we're catching a lot of balls. And I've actually made the transition to playing inside and out now, so I have more. So I have more room to work now.
You've been very vocal about your aspirations to become a captain on the football team. What would that mean to you to have that leadership role?
Well, that's just everything. You basically come here to be the best of the best, and just to get your name up on the wall, the little captain's wall. That would just be something special.
Up there with all the greats.
Yeah.
The USC women's lacrosse team's regular season is nearing its complete end, and Pac-12 tournament play is just approximately 2 weeks away. The women of Troy have had a successful season so far, holding an overall 13-2 record. Because of that, the Trojans sit atop the Pac-12 and are ranked 14th nationally as of this moment. The women of Troy's record vastly improves on their 10-8 efforts from last year. Sophomore midfielders Kelsey Huff and Sophia Donovan have had phenomenal seasons, with both tied and leading the team in points at 39 respectively. Junior attacker Hope Anha is just 1 point below Huff and Donovan at 38. Junior midfielder Kerrigan Miller sits at 19. You can catch the women of Troy this Sunday at 9 a.m., which will be broadcasted on AmericaEast.tv. The women's Troy's final regular season game will be against the Arizona State Sun Devils on April 20th. That game will be live streamed by USC Athletics. With all that said and done, our reporter Natalie Reddington had some unique questions to ask sophomore defender Lizzie Wagner on this next edition of Ask an Athlete.
I'm here today with sophomore defender Lizzie Wagner. Okay, Lizzie, I have 1 minute to ask you as many questions as possible. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, let's start. Okay, favorite movie?
Mona Lisa Smile. It's a classic.
Shake Shack or In-N-Out?
In-N-Out.
Celebrity crush?
Juju Adams.
Favorite professional athlete?
LeBron James.
Most used emoji?
Definitely the fire one.
Favorite food?
Japanese sushi.
Pizza or pasta?
Pasta.
Last TV show you watched?
Oh, Band of Brothers.
Best lacrosse moment in the past year?
Best lacrosse moment in the past year. Our game against Boulder a couple weeks ago.
Instagram or Snapchat?
Instagram.
If you won the lottery, what would be the first thing you would buy?
I would invest it.
That's smart. Who inspires you?
My mother.
Favorite sport besides lacrosse?
Dodgeball.
Dream car?
A go-kart.
All right, that's all the time we have for today. So the women's lacrosse team heads to New York State to play Stony Brook University this weekend. Then we'll toss it to Nick with more on tennis.
Thanks, Natalie. Last Friday, the USC men's tennis team suffered a heartbreaking 3-4 loss at UCLA. The match is already being dubbed one of the best college matches ever played. The rivalry came down to a third-set tiebreaker on court 4. The Trojans had a match point but couldn't convert. The Bruins went on to win the tiebreaker 9-7 and clinch the match. The Trojans have little time to recover, though, as they take on Washington and Oregon this weekend. They will need strong play throughout the lineup, especially from Riley Smith, who will need to avoid a post-loss hangover after he lost the clinching match against UCLA. Another player to look out for is Brandon Holt, who lost in the preseason to Oregon's Thomas Laurent, but has been playing at an elite level since the start of the regular season. With only 4 remaining matches and the Pac-12 title and top seed for the Pac-12 tournament still up for grabs, the men of Troy will need to remain focused to close out the regular season. That's all for men's tennis this week. Now let's send it over to Lindsay, who had the chance to talk to Randall Cunningham about his senior season.
I'm here in front of the Locher Stadium where the USC track and field team is preparing for championship season. For some, like high jumper Randall Cunningham, it's a comeback season. The 2-time NCAA champion broke his leg during the NCAA Indoor Championship in 2018. He plans to make a comeback and a reappearance at Mount Sac next week.
It's been a little bit over a year, like a year and a couple weeks. I got hurt, I think March 10th, 2018. Definitely makes me anxious just to get out there and compete again. I've been wanting to compete since I got injured, so it's just been trying to stay mentally confident, trying to trust myself, trust my body, to know that I'll be able to go back and do the same things that I was doing before. I would say strength, getting the strength back, making sure that I'm doing all my weight exercises and staying mentally strong, making sure that I can just trust myself and keep that confidence that I have. It's been a long process, but I feel like I make progress every day, every week. So all in all, it's been going well. I just like to take it one day at a time. I know I want to accomplish certain things, and knowing that I got stopped short last year, it just makes me want to go out there and do even better. April 20th is the date that we're shooting for. So hopefully everything works out to where I'll be able to compete. I want to just go out there and trust myself, go out there and be confident, compete with confidence. That's all I can really ask for.
In honor of the recent March Madness final on Monday, and congrats to UVA, we had fun here in the Media Center as we made our own bracket predictions.
Our very own Nathan Desai came out on top, having predicted that Virginia would take home the title. He was right about that. Congrats to Nathan. My boy Robbie Aronson and his Duke prediction pulled up at second, and Jillian Carroll and Michael Loy, who predicted Duke and Gonzaga respectively, followed closely. Congrats to you guys.
Out of the 24 people that put in their predictions, we also had a bottom 3.
Ooh.
Jody Sullivan, our former sports director here, took 21st place, followed by Nick Kaufman and Faith Bonds. Anwar, you follow basketball pretty closely. I know we both didn't put in bracket predictions, but I think that if you had done so, you would have done well, whereas I would have taken definitely one of those bottom spots.
I don't know about that. I actually had North Carolina beating Duke in the whole thing. I didn't want to make an official bracket because, I mean, come on. The chances of getting a perfect bracket are like 1 in a trillion.
That's
It's
why they
March
call it
Madness.
March Madness.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I think Texas Tech got robbed in that last final game.
Controversial play.
Yeah, that overtime replay review, that shouldn't have been reviewed at all. But, you know, it's March Madness, like you said. Virginia has Kyle Guy. He's one of my favorite players. He hit those clutch shots in the Final Four game. But, hey, it's March Madness. What can you do? Shout out to UVA.
Right.
Yeah.
Congrats to them. Thanks so much for tuning in to this week's episode of Sports Scene. I'm Natalie Reddington.
And I'm Anwar Stetson. You can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Annenberg Media Sports. See you next week.